What is good, boys? In this video, I'm going to be giving you 3 years of brutally honest social skills advice. So let's get right into it. To give you a little bit of background about myself and my credibility on this subject, I went from someone who was extremely shy and introverted as a kid. I had bad social anxiety. And to give you a quick story about how bad it really was, when I was 19, my family moved from New York to Florida, and I had no friends there. So I left all my hometown friends behind, and I knew no one in this new city. I wasn't in school at this point because I'd already graduated from high school. So after months of having no friends, I decided to go to an 18 plus club. And the night that I was going out, I was so nervous that I actually threw up before I went out. And that's something I'm really embarrassed about. So I'm sharing this with you to show you how much that you can improve no matter what your current starting point is. And now I'm currently in Sweden, and every single weekend I like to go out and party and go to clubs. I'll go to a new city by myself, make about 15 friends before I even get into the club, just in the line, and I can meet and date girls with ease. Making friends is super easy for me, and I can have a great time socially, being very comfortable and confident anywhere I go, even if I'm by myself. So let's get into the actual advice. The first thing that you need to realize is that nobody cares about you. And before you take this the wrong way, you need to look at this as the blessing that it is. You need to realize that everyone's so wrapped up in their heads and so self-centered, thinking only about themselves and, the girls are like, do I look pretty enough? They don't care about some random guy coming and talking to them if the interaction doesn't go well. The only person who's going to remember this and hold on to it is going to be you. They're going to forget about it 30 seconds after this conversation ends and you leave. So this is only going to live in your memory until you decide to let it go. And that's the realest and most true thing that I can ever give you, because when I was a kid, I would hold on to something that didn't go well for way too long. Now, occasionally, very infrequently, after talking to thousands of people, there will be like a girl's friend or something when I go up and try and talk to them who just like, no, they put their hand up, they're like, get away, she's not available, whatever, that garbage. And that's fine, I understand shit like that happens. And the only person who's going to hold on to this experience is going to be you. So the moment you decide to let that go, it ceases to exist. They don't remember, they don't care. So this is very important. So, when you realize that nobody actually cares about you, you have a world of opportunity to have new and fun experiences. And the only person that's going to hold you back from this is yourself. To give you a quick story of how cool life can be and, the fun experiences you can have. When I was in Florida about 2 years ago, I was at a country club bar and I met this girl. She was this fun, wild girl, and we had a fun night. And then that weekend there was EDC Orlando. That's a rave music festival for electronic dance music. And she invited me to that just the next day. And I went with her. I was like a spontaneous spur of the moment thing and went for it. And it was one of the best experiences I had. We had a bunch of fun together. I'd never been to a rave or a music festival before that. So it was just an awesome experience that all came from going to this club and talking to this girl. So it would have never happened otherwise. And I've got lists and lists of experiences like this, but that's just one of the coolest ones. And how it happened just so spontaneously and randomly. And it all came from just going up to someone with no expectations, just trying to have fun and talk to them and have a good time. So you got to realize that no one cares about you. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose from talking to people. If you have a bad interaction, let it die in the moment. Go on to the next one. You can have a million better experiences. So this takes us to the next one, and that is that you need to take initiative in order to have success socially. If I let other people come up and talk to me, I would probably only have about like 10% of the conversations that I've ever had. So there's a few people that will come up to you if you're just standing there and standing with a drink. Like I said, I like to go out a lot by myself here in Sweden and do some solo travel. I find that really fun. So if I just stood in the corner, I might talk to maybe like 10% of the people that I have, and I wouldn't have nearly as many social experiences. So you need to go out and you need to go up and introduce yourself to people. That's going to be huge. Like I said, going to the first point, nobody actually cares about you, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. If you want some of my advice on how to actually start these conversations, check out the cold approach videos, but basically I'll give you a quick rundown. I just start off with, excuse me, what's your name? I give the full breakdown on those cold approach videos as to why I use exactly what I do. I ask their name. I usually ask where they're from, if they're studying, if they're in school, and then the conversation flows from there. It's pretty simple. Those three basic questions like preloaded, and then by that point, you should be able to flow into a conversation and it shouldn't be too difficult. So now that you know that no one cares about you, so you can go up to them, you can take initiative, and you can actually start talking to people. The last thing you need to realize is, give me 1 second. I got it in my notes here. People are friendlier than you would ever imagine. No cuts on this video. So this is the last point, is that people are so friendly. So now that you're taking the initiative, going and talking to them, you'll realize that people are actually so nice and they want to have conversations, and people love meeting new people. I love it. Most of the people out there are really open to new conversations and getting to know new people. You can't let what you see on TikTok and social media, if there's any like sort of thing that's causing any self-limiting beliefs for you, because I know there's some videos out there. I limit what I watch and I try not to allow that into my mind. But there's some things I've definitely seen from when I was younger that can cause some like limiting beliefs, or like recording videos in the gym of like someone approaching and it's like weird or whatever. I want you to forget all that shit, because people in real life are so nice. No one's really going to give you one of those bullshit things. That's such a rare interaction. So I want you to forget about all that. And from my experience, I would say about 98% of the people are extremely nice and friendly. And if they're not interested in the conversation, they're still going to be nice, and you can just part ways and say, it was a pleasure meeting you, right? So remembering that people are super nice and friendly in real life is going to be huge to allowing you to actually go up and go talk to them and take that initiative. You're going to see this over time. You might have to get the reps in, talk to a couple hundred people, and realize, okay, there's maybe a couple bad interactions, but 99% of them were great, right? So there's that whole aspect to it. Don't let one bad experience hold you back from living the life of your dreams. And one thing that's really helped me get social was I took on a sales career. So around that 3-year ago mark, I decided to start with sales. And sales is really what's allowed me to form these connections and have these great conversations with people, really getting to know them by asking questions, just follow-up questions. There's like, this is basic sales, open-ended questions to get them to dig deeper and reveal more about themselves. And this is what makes people really feel like they have a connection with you. So just being great at the art of conversation and communication is going to be huge for allowing you to make these meaningful connections very quickly, getting people to like and trust you. So I'd highly recommend that if you do want to succeed socially, you take on a sales career, especially if you're younger and you don't already have a career path set or anything going for you. Taking on sales and learning about it is going to be super helpful. So what I would recommend is doing high ticket sales. High ticket sales is basically just where you work for an influencer. You're either going to be an appointment setter, working their DMs with their inbound leads from ads or calls to actions on their stories and posts, or you're going to be the closer who's taking those calls that the appointment setter has booked. All these calls are pre-qualified by the content. They like the influencer. They're already ready to buy. You just got to ask them a couple questions and enroll them in the program. It's super simple. You can make really great money, anywhere from like 5 to 25K, depending on the program that you're selling and the influencer you work for. So if that sounds like something of interest for you, go ahead and check out my free school community, where I teach you how to get started with high ticket sales. I teach you actually how to sell it and how to land your first role. That's going to be linked down below. If you do decide to join, leave a comment saying school, where I'll make sure to get you in and make sure that we accept you into the community. But that's a really great path that's going to help you break down any of those social barriers. And if you want to just succeed socially too, just check out that free course, because it's really going to help you with just general sales is the art of conversation. Sales is a social skill. So if you want to improve socially, learning about sales is really going to help you out. I teach a lot of different things in there, so I'd highly recommend you check that out. But if this video was any value, please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you can have some of the positive social experiences like I have had.